Hey guys, in this tutorial, we're going to be showing you how to adjust your settings and your look of your charts so that it matches what we're going to look like in class. If this video goes a little too quick, feel free to pause and replay as much as you need to copy essentially our settings. So the first thing we're going to do is right click on the chart, go into the settings. Under appearance, we're going to change the vertical grid line and the horizontal grid line to white. We're going to go over to the events and uncheck all of the boxes, including the show economic events. Then we're going to click on these volume bars anywhere and select the delete key on your keyboard to get rid of them. And we're good for this part. So now we're going to go into the settings for the actual tools. Again, this part can be a little bit quick, so feel free to pause and replay. So once we've drawn something, we can select on it, and the menu for the settings will actually appear just here. So you can change the color, the size, and the style. It's important to note that anytime you make any changes, it'll automatically save as default. So you guys can see I changed this to red. It did not affect what was already drawn, but anything new will automatically show up as red now. So in our case, we're just going to change this to black and a little bit thicker. For all of these, essentially it's going to be the same thing. You guys can see the different colors that we've chosen here. Again, the color doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's a little bit thicker so you can see it. I'm going to skip the Fib tool for now. The brush is going to be colored black and a little bit thicker so that you can make it a little bit more noticeable. The rectangle and the ellipse, what we've done here is not only change the color and the thickness, but we've also adjusted the background color. You guys see this opacity bar down at the bottom? You can drag this over and it'll make essentially the middle part transparent. So we've done that for both the rectangle and the ellipse. The only thing changed to the text is we made it a little bit bigger, so 20 font size. If you have a harder time reading the letters or numbers, you can make this bigger or smaller depending on what you'd like. But we also changed this to black. Now with the Fib Retracement and the price range tool, there's a little bit more that comes with this, so let's just go right into it. So this will look very different from what you have. Instead of adjusting it here, what we're going to do is go into the settings so we can tackle everything all at once. So just taking a look at this, starting from the top down, what we've essentially done is we've unchecked trendline, we've checked extend lines right, and we've unchecked everything except for two boxes. And in those two boxes, we're going to just rename it to 0 and 1. And I want you to then click on the colors on the side and change that to black. Scrolling down, uncheck where it says levels. And where it says labels, go ahead and change this to the right and put it on top. And we're going to do one last thing, which is we're going to select on the bottom left-hand corner where it says templates. Go ahead and click on the arrow. And what you want to do is click on save as and name this as inner level. Once you've completed that, I want you to go back inside so that we're essentially in the same menu. And this time, the only things that you need to change are going to be that you want 4 boxes instead, where it says 0, 0.25, 0.75, and 1. And make sure that these colors are the same. So 0 is gray, 2.5 is green, 7.5 is gray, and 1 is red. And it should look like something like this. Last but not least, again, going back to the templates, I'm going to hit the arrow, hit save as, and this time we're going to label it as A and C. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click OK. And last but not least is the price range tool. So again, this will look fairly different from what you guys have. Go ahead and go and click on the same settings button. And this time, we're going to change the line by changing the opacity. So it doesn't matter what color. Change the opacity to 0. We're going to extend this to the right. The label, we're also changing the opacity to 0. and we're going to uncheck where it says label background and go ahead and select on OK. Once you've completed this, it should look fairly similar to what we have. Again, you guys do not actually need to copy us directly. If you want something different for yourself that works better for you, by all means go for it. It's just that this is going to be the settings that we'll be using in class.